You can ring Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. You can ring Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. Welcome to the Doug Bellcast. And now, here is your host, the star of Ring My Bell, Doug Bell.
Hey, it's Bell. Welcome to, who else would it be? Welcome to another, cool, Ring My Bell, podcast now. And like Videotron, like, thanks for all the bellheads and the bellends and the bellers, supporting me, get a hashtag Ring My Bell, blah, blah, blah. But it's crazy. This has been like such a crazy week. I was just riding around, my car, just checking out some tunes like I'll do. And I heard a song come on, like, ba, 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 ba. I'm like, where do I know that from? Ba, ba, ba. And there's this girl, she was singing, she had like a real pretty voice. And it was Taylor Swift. So I was like, oh, right, that's why. And it reminded me too, because Taylor's like a really cute girl, right? But I met her. People always want to hear my celebrity stories, take down Hollywood, Bell. And I'm like, I'm going to do it. So I remember I was out in La La Land a couple years ago, supposed to be not long ago. And, I'm just kind of hanging, right? And some guys I know are going to this party, and I just kind of jumped. I didn't tag along, but I just kind of went. And it was like a movie premiere. And this was like the after party. So it was like, everybody was just kind of hanging out, blah, blah, blah. I walked in, right? And the host was like, you're not on the list. And so I pulled out my ID. But the guy's like, no, you're not on the list. So I was like, Bell. But I even told him, look up Buggy Dell. See it? And he goes, no, you're not on the list. So, I walked into the garage, whatever. They opened the garage for something. I walked in, and there's like all these muckety mucks. And at the time, I was trying to make some contacts for this project I was working on. Just kind of working a room. I was eating a couple, like they took the little toothpick and I stuck it in the weenies. I was eating little hot dog weenies, trying to make some connections. Just kind of belling around the room. That's what I call it when I'm kind of casing. I'm belling around a room. So I'm sorry. That's disgusting. I ate yams. Yams do that to me. They go right through me, and it's like very gassy. So I'm gonna take that out. Like, that's like signal to myself to get out of there because it's gross. But anyway, I'm walking in this party, right? I'm looking for some shakers and some movers. I would always call it salting. How you doing, Bell? I'm salting. What's that mean? Looking for shakers. So I'd be salting, I was kind of salting around looking for shakers, movers too, but salt shakers. So I see this pretty girl. She's standing there. She's got like a nice little figure on her. I'm checking her out. So I'm like, maybe I go over there and make a little bit of a move. She's got a bunch of guys talking to her, but like, I understand it once that comes out, it's usually game over for the other guys. So I walk over there. I'm holding a nice tall glass of warm milk because I hadn't been sleeping, so I need some nice warm milk. But it makes me like a little throaty. Unfortunately, I didn't know that at the time, like that type of thing. So I'm drinking this warm milk. I walk over and I see it's T-Swift, right? It's Taylor Swift. So she's talking. All these guys are laughing. Guys in suits, whatever. One of them was like an actor or something. So I walk over. And I'm just kind of like just checking out the scene. And this guy looks over and he goes, can I help you? You need something? And I go, nope, I got all I need. I got my warm milk, and I pull this out, and I got my calling card. I do the ring like that, everybody kind of looks. And Taylor looks over, and I go, you recognize me? And she goes, I'm sorry. No, we were talking about something. And I'm like, I guess you don't recognize me. I put that in there, like, hey, don't feel guilty. And she goes, no, I'm sorry. I go, T-Swift. I called her that, which kind of got her like knowing that there was a different vibe to me. I go, it's me, it's Belle. I'd bring my Belle on. And she was like kind of playing coy, like she didn't really know. But one of the other guy goes, wasn't that on? He was rude. He goes, that was canceled. And I'm like, yeah, but it was on. He says to him like that. And I take a sip of milk and I look at him like, do you really want to go down this road with Belle? But she looks at me for a second and I go to her, and maybe I shouldn't have said this, but I go, Joe Jonas was never good enough for you. I said that to her. I go, Joe Jonas was never going to be a good boyfriend to you. I go, you needed someone who could have shown you what a real relationship was. And she with a guy now, all of a sudden, Mr. Threatened, no, this old TV star's coming over. And he goes, you might want to, okay, that's good, but we're talking about something. And I go, and who is the other guy from One Direction? Who is that guy? And she's like, I can't. And so somebody behind me goes, Harry Styles. And I go, thank you, buckaroo. And I put it, I go, when I get to my project, you're going to be a part of it because he helped me out there. And I go, Harry Styles, I say this to her, I go, Harry Styles, he didn't have none. I say that to her, he didn't have no style for the way he treated you, T-Swift. I told her that. I'm like, these were not good guys, Joe Jonas or Harry have no style. I think I said that to him too. And so then the host comes over, he goes, you looking for somebody here? And I go, as a matter of fact, I am. I go, T-Swift, you might want to jump in on this because I got an opportunity for you. I go, I'm working on this new series about like a detective, starring myself. I go, Doug Bell, blah, blah, and it's going to be called The Buckaroo Chronicles. The Buckaroo Chronicles. Like where I go out and I'm solving crimes, and I don't carry a gun, I carry this. I carry my calling cards, my bell. So like I'll see a criminal and I'll do like, he turns around, he'll look, and he'll go like, oh no, it's Belle. And then we get like a bunch of karate fights and stuff like that. But I got it all worked out. But anyway, Taylor, she was kind of like a little stuck up. She didn't want to talk to me. But I was like, T-Swift, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. And then they told me I had to go. But it was a cool story. Like, I think she was into talking to me, but they were just like, boom, boom, they're trying to monopolize her time. And I was trying to get financing for the Buckaroo Chronicles. That's why I was there. And it didn't happen, but it will. It's got to happen soon. But anyway, T-Swift, here's why I'm talking about her and blah, blah, blah. Because I went over to, I heard she was doing an interview. This is probably like 2 years later. She's doing an interview over at Sirius XM Satellite. So I go up there because I was friends at the time with Petey Dominic. I said, I'm going to go up there and talk old times with him, talk shop. I hadn't seen him in like 10 years, but I'm like, he'll be so fucking crazy to see me, like back in hell, But he was doing a show and he was behind the glass and I kept waving to him and going, Bell. And he's like, all of a sudden, Mister doesn't remember where it comes from. Petey Dominic won't even look at me. He's like, he looks at me and he starts talking to whoever. And I'm doing like this, I'm making like funny faces. I'm like, we're going to do like an old routine or something, through the glass. And the guest is just going to sit there and watch Bell and Petey Dominic do a show. But the security came over and they said he's talking to a senator. It was a senator. I think it was like Chuck Schumer or somebody from New York. So he was like, busy. So I was like, whatever. I go, meet me outside. Like we were going to hang out and riff a little bit. But anyway, so I walk out to I walk out to the lobby. And I'm waiting because T-Swift is going to be there in a little bit. And I could see her eyes light up when I had mentioned the Buckaroo Chronicles. So I still haven't gotten any like money for it. So I'm like, I'm just going to see what she says, baby. I'll slide up to her people. I'll throw the guy a $5. Let me talk to T-Swift for a couple minutes. Get me in the green room. I said that to him, get me in the green room. So I'm waiting for her to come. And I see this other this pretty young lady coming up. And she walks in the lobby. And I'm looking at her. She's looking at me. And again, I always have my calling card. So I just kind of stand in the lobby. I just do this. I do one of these. Not looking for no attention, just giving it what I call light tinkling to the bell. A little light tinkling. Girl looks over, she's cute. And goes, she goes, where do I know you from? And I go, well, where you know me from? I go, I guess you got a TV in your house. I says that to her, I'm sorry. That's disgusting. I've done it. That's embarrassing. So she goes, where do I know you from? Oh, I go, yeah, you got a TV in your house. She goes, you were on TV? And I go, yeah, Doug Bell, we shake hands, blah, blah, blah. I go, ah. And she goes, I don't know what the bell is. I go, ring my bell, there's a show. And she goes, oh, that's so cool. She goes, hi, I'm Nicole. Pretty thing too. And I go to her, oh, you are? I go, wait, Nicole Ryan, she goes. So I go, Nikki Ryan, Doug Bell. So now Nikki Ryan, Doug Bell are kind of rapping out in the lobby about just life. But then she's like, okay, I got to get back to work. So she's kind of standing there looking towards the elevators. And I'm just kind of standing by her like that. And I'm like, so, where are you from? And she's like, she's checking her phone and looking at the elevator. And she goes, I'm kind of working. I'm waiting for somebody right now. And so I go, who are you waiting for? Like that. And she doesn't answer me. So I kind of go over and I stand in front of her. And I go, hello, Earth to Nikki Ryan, Earth to Nikki Ryan. And she smiled too. She got a kick out of it. And I go, who are you waiting for? She goes, I'm not supposed to say. And I go, because it's probably my friend you're waiting for. You're probably waiting for my, I have a compadre of mine who's coming up here. And she goes, you're friends with Taylor? I go, T-Swift, trust me, I'm up here to talk about a project with her. She's going to be so crazy to see me without all those other guys, blah, blah, blah. So then all of a sudden, Nikki Ryan changes her tune. And she's like, oh, that's kind of cool. Maybe she's like, I've interviewed her, but I don't really know her that good. And I'm like, I don't know her that good, but I'm like, she's interested in this project that I'm pushing. And I tell Nikki Ryan all about the Buckaroo Chronicles. And she's like, that sounds cool, right? And she keeps checking the watch and the phone. So that I just got to do. I go, so, you got a boyfriend? I said like that to her. You got a boyfriend? And she goes, she points at a ring. But I think, I don't know what she's saying. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. I would love to have one like that. She goes, I'm married. I go, oh, all right, cool. And she goes, yeah, I got a couple kids. I go, oh, that's cool. I go, tell me about the little squirts. I go, tell me all about the little squirts. And then she doesn't say anything because the elevator's opened. And then I see that it's T-Swift and her team are coming in the door, blah, blah, blah. So then all of a sudden, Nikki Ryan gets distracted. But I'm tailing her. I'm like right behind her because I'm like, then Taylor walks in. And so I go to her, I go, Nikki Ryan, introduce me to Taylor again. She goes, what? And she goes, I thought you were, I go, not, but it was a party. I go, just say this is Doug Bell. Do you remember a couple of years ago, he talked to you about the Buckaroo Chronicles? I go, come on, do me a favor. I would do it for you. But anyway, now she's all being Miss like hoity-toity. She didn't even tell me anything about the little squirts because I told her, if you got kids, I'll send like a balloons or something for them, a gift. You know what I mean? Because kids love Belle. I told her that. Meanwhile, now she's just walking ahead of me. But I'm right behind her going towards the green room. I'm like, kids love Belle. And I'm like, because she was a part of it's called like, it's like a mashup in the morning or something like that. It's cool. They kind of mash up music and blah, blah, blah. They pop culture and stuff like that. And I go, how funny would it be if you brought me and Taylor on together? I say that to her. She's looking in the green room now, waiting. But I know she can hear it, and I can see the wheels turning. And I go, how funny would it be? Because I go, Taylor's an old friend of mine. And a woman comes out, because we got a little loud, and Nikki Ryan whispered to her. And then the woman goes, sir, can we help? I go, yeah, tell T-Swift that Belle's here. And I'm giving her an opportunity to get involved with the Buckaroo Chronicles. And I do this. And And then Nikki Ryan turns around. She goes, "You gotta stop ringing the bell," because she's getting annoyed. I can see it. And I go, "You gonna introduce me to her?" And she goes, I can't. But I go, "How about if I just sit in the lobby, and then afterwards on the way out?" And she goes, yeah. Just sit in the lobby and don't say anything. So T-Swift goes by with Nikki and the big entourage. Blah blah blah. Like I never liked the big entourage, right? And they go in the back to tape the thing. So I'm walking by the window. There's her and there's a guy like Big Stanny and a couple other guys. And they're all in there, blah, 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 doing the interview. And I'm out there and Nikki Ryan can see me. So I'm looking in there and I got the bell. I'm like I'm doing that. I'm just cracking her up because she's trying to conduct the interview. And I'm over there doing like Taylor's dance moves outside the window. You know, it's just to be really, to be funny. And I guess it was like, I could see she was trying not to crack up because Taylor couldn't see me, but Nikki Ryan could see me. So someone came over and closed the window. And then Stanny came out. He was really rude to me. I didn't like that Stanny guy because he came out and he goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm just making everybody laugh, dude. And he grabbed me by like the face and he put his thumb in my mouth and he threw me to the ground. He squeezed my face with his thumb in my mouth and just kind of fish hooked me and threw me to the ground. I didn't like that. I'm like, I'm going to sue. So that was my then I just went in the lobby and waited to see if Nikki Ryan would keep her word, but she didn't. She was full of turkey. So whatever. I would still give like a little balloons, still little squirts, little bells. Hey. To Nikki Ryan's little squirts because, you know, kids are always Bell fans. But she wasn't very nice. And she's going to regret it too because I'm getting so many opportunities. Like what happened was the Impractical Jokers. Because, you know, it was like, who is it? It's, oh God, what are their names? Sal, and Joey. Sal, Joey, Murray. Murray's a good egg. And Bry. So they go, I know that Joey left, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, I'm going to try to get in with the Jokers. Because I have so many prank ideas. Like, it was so funny. I see Murray one time on the elevator. I go, Murr. I do it like that. Like I do it like Ted Knight does it in the Cal Burnett show when he would always see Murray at the radio station and he would always go, Murr. So I see Murr. I'm doing that to him on the elevator. He's like, I'm out to dinner right now. But I was like, come on, Murr. But I got such funny ideas for pranks. Like, we'll do this, me and the Jokers, right? Because they're looking for a new guy now. So like, it could be like Bry Murray, Sally and Bell. And like, I could be like the crazy cousin that comes over. I said, we go to a mall, right? And how about you guys? Like, you guys are just sitting there having like sandwiches at the table. And all of a sudden you hear this. And everybody in the mall starts looking, blah, blah, blah. And I fall on the floor, act like I'm, my heart. I'm doing like that. And when the ambulance comes, I go, I could get propped up on the gurney. And maybe like Murray or Sally could go over and go like, I think the bell helps them. And then like, they could put my hand will be stiff, right? And they could put the bell in my hand. I could bring it like that, and all of a sudden I wake up, and then people will be like, "Oh God, the bell and him are connected." Something like that. Like just, it's on brand, blah blah blah. And that would be so funny because I watch the Jokers, and like when they're talking stuff into each other's ears, I'm always having funnier stuff to say. Like I would do that, like, okay, here's what you do. You go on a tennis court, you're playing tennis, and I would say stuff like, say there's a bomb in your shoe, stuff like that. Or like say, hey, nice hit. What is that, the bowling ball? You know, just like really funny jokes that would crack people up. And I got like challenges that would be so fun. Like, you know, make yourself like a glove out of pudding and like wave at your friends, like just funny punishments. You got to make like a little cup of pudding, put your hand in there and like wave at your friends. Like that's like Bell's idea would have been really cool. But I do think that I got potential on that show. So the Impractical Jokers, how funny would that be? Sally Murray Bry, and Bell, like you do like that, and and Bell, and I come in like because they do the live shows too. Like I wouldn't expect more than like my share. I gotta bring a name to it and kind of like a nostalgia. And who is this guy? This TV stuff, but like I know what it's like to be on top. So I would like to tell those guys, like, dude, it's not gonna last forever. But I would only want like a quarter of the money. I wouldn't have to get like any more. But I could come out and do funny sketches with them. And like I don't have like any Impractical Joker stories, but they could tell a few Joker stories in front of their audience, and I could go. And one time I'd ring my bell, and I would have like probably better stories. Because there was one time we had like this contestant. I ring my bell, and like it was something like I forget what he had to do to solve like the puzzle. But he came out and he said something Pecker. I go, what Pecker? I go, oh my God. I made him slow it down and replay it. Oh, it was so funny. Pecker. Like that was the promo we used for like both seasons. But the Jokers, I think I'd be so good on that show. But again, I kind of come in with a name, so they might not be comfortable. But anyway, look, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent. I'm just saying that like Bri, Quinny, and Murray, they probably know it'd be a funny, like I'd be so good on that show. And T-Swift, I got no hard feelings about her. Nikki Ryan, like wait till she needs something from Bell. That's all I'm saying. Wait till Nikki Ryan from a mashup needs something from Bell. And as far as that Stanny putting his thumb in my mouth and dug his nail in my cheek and flinging me to the ground, I mean, that hurt. So, apologies are owed. Well, I'm not going to hold a grudge. Fly wild and stay gold.
You can ring Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. You can ring Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell.